Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Play the Tape. I'm your host, Derek J. Fields. Listen, full disclaimer, we are not licensed or clinical social workers, mental health consultants, mental health therapists. What Play the Tape is a platform of community advocacy and support for those with mental health conditions and substance use and recovery. We're here to let you know that resources and tools are available and let you see that people that have mental health conditions, that have substance use, like myself and my guest today, push forward through the adversity and prevail on the other side. And this is a platform for hope. If you didn't know, now you know. Absolutely. Listen, my guest today, my brother today, is someone that's part of the mental health community. He is an advocate. He speaks out for mental health, having his own challenges in mental health. He wants to give you his testimony, give you his story, let you hear his side. And again, how he, through adversity, through struggles, through trials and tribulations, still has success in his life. So without further ado, my guest today, Trent McPherson. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing well, man. I want to say thank you for being a part of this. Um, and just taking the time out to share your story, to share your testimony, and to give people your experience, strength, and hope on how you overcome, how you are overcoming, and the things it takes and the things it is taking to succeed in your life and to become the person that you want to be and the person you are now. So I want to say thank you for that. And it's an honor to have you. Without further ado, Trent.
No, man. Thank you. First off, thank you for inviting me to be on the show. I really appreciate it. I'm a little bit nervous, but I'm also excited to share my story and hopefully somebody out there can relate or learn something or just somebody can take something away from
Absolutely. Absolutely. Wherever you want to start, go
it.
for it.
So in terms of like mental health, I feel like my childhood was like it was quite normal actually. I grew up in a single household. It was just my mom and my brother, and my mom actually worked. She worked like three jobs. My dad wasn't really around because he was uh, he was abusive to like us, the kids, and also my mom. So we kind of got out of that situation. I think that was like the first time that I really experienced like going through something in my life. Go ahead if you have a question.
No, I was fixing my mic, but how old were you at that time when that was all happening? Do you
I was
remember?
around, yes, I do. I was around 6 years old, 5 years old. And my brother, he's 5 years older than me, so he was around 10. So I think that was like, those are like, honestly, my earliest memories, some of my earliest memories, excuse me. Because, they say you don't start developing memories until you're around 3 or 4 years old. So, I mean, I have a couple earlier memories, but some of my earliest memories were times like that. So I'm glad that we were able to get away from that because I definitely, I mean, when you're a kid, you don't really understand it as much. But now, as you get older, you realize like what your mom was going through and, what your brother was going through. And it was definitely, that wasn't a good situation to be in. But, oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, no, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead. I was just going to say that I can relate with similar, very, very, very similar situation in my household as well. My mom just chose to stay. Um, so I understand that childhood trauma in that regard, uh, that abusive parent, you know?
Mm,
So, but go ahead.
yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. Sadly, that's all too common. And I'm really proud of my mom for being able to get out of that situation. And she definitely made our lives better. So, but like I was saying, after that, like my childhood was, it was quite normal. My mom, she worked like three jobs, so it was pretty much just me and my brother at home. But I'm not complaining because my mom, like I said, she's working all these jobs to make sure that we always had food, we always had clothes when we needed clothes, we always had textbooks, whatever we needed. She was going to make sure that we had, no matter how hard she had to work. So my mom was definitely a huge inspiration for me just in life in general. But I feel like for me personally, um once I hit like high school, I was like
Hmm.
that's when I started to like I feel like I don't want to say develop, but I started to have like some issues. because my dad, like, so I had a stepdad basically, and he treated my mom a lot better, but like he also had like his own things that I feel
Mm-hmm.
like really like contributed to how me and my brother are now. And he was an amazing person. Like I love him to this day. And but a lot of things were like we saw like some things that like I feel like kids shouldn't see in terms of because like he was a really big drug dealer, like really really big, and like a lot of times like I said, my mom was at work, so it would just be us at the house, and we saw like some messed up stuff. We would see drugs. I mean, we saw people getting beat up. We saw like drugs on the table, guns on the table. You know, they're in there playing cards, passing whatever around, guns around. Me and my brother just kids not knowing what we were doing, playing with guns. And I feel like that kind of I feel like it kind of like influenced me as a person,
Mm-hmm.
which I hate to say this, but I feel like it definitely influenced my brother. And then me looking up to my brother, it influenced me. So I feel like that's where me going down the wrong path started. So I always had this attitude that like, you know, I'm untouchable. Nobody can mess with me, you know, which is like a typical teenage attitude,
Right.
sadly. But yeah, I was very wrong. So me and my brother were both like kind of going down this path where, you know, we were abusing substances, we were selling substances, we were involved in like I don't want to say street life, but it kind of was street life. Because my stepdad definitely was, and it made it like to where it seemed like it was cool because like it was something he was doing, and he was like this like really popular, you know, big bad guy, and like we were like his kids. So to me at the time, not understanding like there's a lot more outside of life than that. To me,
Mm-hmm.
that was my whole life because he was like the first father figure that I like looked up to and I really appreciated. So like to me, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be just like him. You know, he treated my mom good. He's not even our biological dad, and he treats us amazing. So you know, I that's like I was looking up to him like he was a role model.
So you had your
So
brother, you had your older brother, your stepdad. Did so you seeing your brother, your older brother, seeing your stepdad, seeing the strength of your mother to overcome what she overcame, and then everything that you're seeing that you want to be or you want to emulate, was that something? Did your stepdad know when y'all started getting more involved into the street life, to being a hustler, to
yeah, exactly, and that's the thing with him is like he tried to keep us away from that as
mm-hmm,
much as possible, but like he was so deep into it that like it was inevitable. Like there's no way that like he couldn't like he could keep us away from that. Because like I said, I mean, we would just be at the house and like we would see all kinds of stuff. I mean, we were in places that we weren't supposed to be. You know, like my stepdad was always like, "Look, don't you go in that basement. If you go in that basement, I'm gonna tear you up." And I was like, we were like, "All right."
all right,
He
we
left the
gotta go in
house.
that
Yeah,
basement.
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. So we was definitely doing stuff we weren't supposed to be in, but he tried his best to keep us away from that. But I mean, me and my brother, we was knuckleheads, so we was definitely trying to figure out what was down there and the type of life that he was living. Because I mean, once he came into our life, our lifestyle just improved dramatically. Because like I said, he took care of us. He was making tons of money. Because I mean, he was moving a lot of like was moving a lot of stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
um, that definitely had a huge impact on my brother. As I said previously, my brother, another person that I really look up to. I'm following his footsteps because you know that's my brother, and he's 5 years older than me. So there's a little bit of an age gap there. So you know he's like by the time I'm 10, he's 15.
Mm-hmm.
Excuse me. So he's already in high school and stuff. But I feel like where it really got bad is my stepdad actually went to prison, and he got sentenced to 22 years. And that's when you know me and my brother kind of we lashed out a little bit because we were angry that like when he got caught, we were angry that you know he was gone from our lives. My mom was upset, you know, because she was working again, struggling. You know, we had to move to a different place because we couldn't afford rent. And I mean, I wasn't really mad at that, but I was just mad that like you know my father figure was gone. And I mean, 22 years. I'm gonna be an adult by the time he gets out. And at that point, that's when me and my brother just his was earlier than mine because, like I said, he's older than me, but
Mm-hmm.
he definitely went down that lifestyle a lot harder than I did because my mom she kind of kept her hands around my neck in terms of like trying to keep me on the straight and narrow, but ultimately it didn't really work out. And I feel like this is where once I hit high school is where I started to get really really bad. Um, getting in fights, still selling drugs, still doing whatever, flashing guns, whatever I could get my hands on, I was doing it.
You still wanted to be
And
a part of it. You still wanted to be a part of it. You at that time because your stepdad was gone and your older brother was your older brother. He was deep, and you still wanted to be a part of something.
exactly, exactly. At this point, that was like kind of my identity. Sadly,
Good.
because
Good word. Good word. Yeah.
all I've seen is the first father figure that I really looked up to. And, as a young man, that's like you love your mother and everything, but when you have a good father figure, like you really look up to that person. And even a mentor, like even if it's not a father figure, like a mentor, that's somebody that you really look up to and you really respect. So once he was gone, I see my brother doing that, and I was like, man, this is all I've known since I was, 10 years old, and I'm 16 now, 17 now. What else do I do? I don't really know what else to do. All I've known is drugs, violence, whatever. Getting money, and so eventually, this is where it like really went downhill for me. I had some friends that I went to high school with who were also involved in that kind of lifestyle, similar to me. My brother, he was gone by now, so it was just me and my mom at home. He moved away from home. Excuse me.
Would you when he moved? Did y'all ever? I know you. That was your dude, and I know he loved you too. Did y'all stay in contact, or was when he left, he just wanted to leave and start his own life? Did y'all still stay in contact when he first decided to leave at that time?
It it was a little bit of both, like how you said, like he wanted to start his own life, and
Mm-hmm.
then we stayed in contact. Like we would always we would talk to each other maybe once a week, and it was always all love, like it should be, or like it's always gonna be.
Good.
But we definitely didn't talk like we used to. We weren't doing things together, and he had his own life. He started doing his. He's a barber now, so he started doing his like barbering stuff, and we just started talking less and less. But excuse me, like I was saying, me and my friends, like I said, I had some friends that were also involved in that lifestyle,
Mm-hmm.
and we we came up with the plan. We were just trying to make some quick money, and we ended up we actually robbed a guy like at his house, and we all got charged with armed robbery and breaking and entering, and that was definitely the darkest like time of my life.
How old
And it
were you
wasn't even
when
I
that
was
happened?
17. I was
17.
17 at this time. There's two states I think that charge you as an adult at 17: North Carolina and New
Mm-hmm.
York. And
Yep.
I was in North Carolina at this time because I don't know if I told you this, but I was born and raised in North Carolina. Um, so yeah, I was born and raised in North Carolina. So I was
Yeah.
in North Carolina at this time, and um, so I was charged as an adult. And so at first we thought we were in the smooth, and then we got caught somehow. One thing led to another. Next thing I know, I'm at school and they're arresting me at school right after gym class. Walking me through the hallways in handcuffs. Everybody's staring at me, and all I can think about is I don't even care about these people staring at me. All I can think about is like, what's my mom gonna say when she hears
Right.
this?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like to me, like the biggest thing that hurt me was like I did like I said, like I was kind of used to like that lifestyle. But the biggest thing that hurt me was like my mom, you know what I'm saying, what's she gonna say, how she gonna react, she's gonna be crying. So that's where my mental health started to kick in, like my mental health issues,
Mm-hmm.
or just, I was having really bad anxiety about that, and so they arrested me at school, took us to jail. The whole time I was just shaking, not even because I was scared to go to jail. I was just scared of like my mom, which is
Mom.
crazy.
No, it ain't.
Yeah, yeah. I was
That's a
scared of
real
mom,
fear.
man.
Yeah, I know that's right.
Yeah, and yeah. So I was in jail for maybe 2, 3 months before my uncle actually came and bailed me out because my bail was set at 25,000. Yeah, 25,000. So he yeah, my mom was like, I talked to my mom. She was like, I'm not getting you out. You got to sit in there until somebody figure it out. And I was like, dang, she really gonna leave me in here? I was like, yeah, I mean, that's what I expect from my mom. So, but my uncle actually came through and he bailed me out. He had some land and he put his land up, and that's how I got out. But once I got out, my mom actually sent me to live with my biological dad,
Mm.
and
Real quick,
I
real
mean,
quick,
go ahead.
real quick. 3 months before your uncle came and bailed you out, you was in county or just
Yeah,
whole
I was in
county? Okay,
county.
you was in county.
Yeah, I was in
At
county. Yeah.
17, sitting in county for 3 months. What was the mindset of Trenton before the uncle came? Before your mother said you got to go live with your biological father? What was that like? What was that mental state for Trenton in 3 months in county?
Man, I can't even lie to you, man. I was scared because, like, you know, like I said, I always thought I was untouchable, but
Yeah.
I always felt like I was protected, but by my stepdad, by my friends, my brother. But once you're in there by yourself, man, you're in there around people who are, really, really, really about that life, because
Mm-hmm.
in jail, like that's people who are waiting to be on trial. So there can be murderers in there, rapists, hardcore drug dealers, people who have like done some things and seen some things, and I have too. But I was definitely scared.
Okay.
I was scared. I was feeling a little betrayed, but
What do you
also I
mean?
under
What do you mean?
because like I felt like like 3 months like that. I feel like that was enough time for somebody to come and get me out.
I got you.
But I mean, I understand at the same time. Uh, I felt betrayed by my friends and my family, but I feel like that was just me being young and not understanding. I was being real selfish with that, and like I said, man, I was just mainly scared every day. I didn't know what was gonna happen. It was crazy in there. But yeah, that's definitely something I'll never forget. And I feel like that's definitely something that changed my life.
Okay. So moving forward, you were saying that after your uncle had put up his land and you had got bailed, you got bonded out, bailed out. Now your mom is like, hey, well, you got to go stay with your biological father. What was 17 still?
Hmm.
Okay, bam. Okay, I'm home. Okay, mom, I'm sorry. Now I gotta go stay with this guy.
Yeah,
So
for real. So even more like I was saying, I felt betrayed. Now I was just like straight up confused. I was like,
yeah.
why would you want me to stay with him? Like after everything that he put you through and like all that stuff. Like, I don't even want to be there. Why would I want to be around him? And again, I was feeling betrayed. I didn't really understand. She was like, I think you need to go stay with him because I don't want you in this house where you're gonna be acting like that. And my even my biological father was kind of into that lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
So she was like, you need to go stay with him so you can just get away from all the people that you think are your friends and that you think are really with you. And I was feeling, like I said, hurt, betrayed, confused. I didn't want to be there. I was angry. And when I first got there, I was angry at him. I was angry at my family. I was angry at like the world because I mean at this point I felt like everything was unfair. You know, I didn't want to be there at all. Why would I want to be around this? I was angry at him. Like I really wanted to hurt him because of like all the things that he put like us through and my mom through. But I think that what happened was I guess he like talked to her or something and told her like, listen, I can get him on the straight and narrow. I can get him going where he needs to be going. And I mean, he did, but it definitely wasn't what I was uh, thinking was going to happen when I got out of jail.
So what happened when you got to your now? Where's your dad? Where's your biological dad living at this time?
So he was living in a city it's called Morganton. It's about 30, 35 minutes away from where I'm from.
Mm-hmm.
originally. So he was never like too far. He just wasn't really involved.
Right.
But I think he was like slightly involved in the background. It's just that like, my mom didn't really want me around him, so I didn't really hear much about it. Um, because I mean, at the end of the day, I'm still his son. So even though like I'm sure he matured even as he got older
Right.
from the time when he was younger and I was a baby. So excuse me. So I went to live with him. Found out I had a little brother, which I actually didn't know. That was awesome. And I remember when I first got there, like I went to church, and like when I was younger, I went to church with like some of my friends, but I like, as I got older, I kind of got out of that, and I never really got too involved in that, like in like religion, because my thought process was like, I mean, I'm the ultimate decision making in my life. You know what I'm saying? What happens to me, I decide. Again, that's a very dumb and young mindset, but um uh I was having like some anxiety and some depression because like, you know, the town that I'm from is a real small town. It's a lot of really closed-minded people there, and also, you know, growing up, my family was one of the only minority families in that town. So, you get on Facebook and you read what people are saying about you, and people are saying just horrible things like, racist things, and how they see you, and oh, I thought he was this and now he's this, like this is what his true colors are, this is what his people does, and
Mm.
that like that
Yeah.
tears you down as a person.
Yes, it does.
And I was like going through some stuff at that point. I was starting to get, I've always had anxiety, but I was starting to feel like I was getting depressed because like not all my friends, they weren't talking to me. People that I thought were my friends, they wouldn't talk to me, they wouldn't associate with me. I wasn't even allowed to go. Excuse me. I wasn't allowed to go near my school, my old school. If I wanted to go see some friends, go to a basketball game, I wasn't allowed to do that. A lot of my family members like wouldn't talk to me. So at this point, I feel like all I had was my biological dad, and like it was like a really desperate feeling because I feel like this is really who I got to turn to. Like, what I'm saying? Like I had nobody, so I guess I got to just turn to this person. And I mean, it really felt like I had nobody because I didn't want to like do that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I didn't even want to talk to him. Um, so I just felt depressed, man. I was always just I shared a room with my brother. I was always in the room. Excuse me. Never came out. I was not taking care of myself, mentally or physically. Um, I like I talked to my mom about it, and she got me some like antidepressants and stuff, and I was taking those, and I started to feel better. I got off of them, and like that's when it started to get worse, which was weird. Like I got off my antidepressants, and I felt like everything got worse, and like I was just like going through the pain of like feeling like I let my mom down because, like I was telling you earlier, man, like she's a huge inspiration for me,
Right.
probably my biggest inspiration,
Mm-hmm.
and like she didn't really want to talk to me that much. I mean, she was there for me, of course, but she didn't. She was like, she wanted me to know, like if I'm here if you need me, but you need to learn how to be a man and grow up. So I really felt alone. I started feeling like a little suicidal because I just felt like I had nobody, and like sometimes I feel like I didn't go through enough to like have those feelings. Like I feel like those feelings aren't valid. And I was feeling like that at the time, like, man, like, why am I feeling like this, man? This is like I was mad at myself. I was like, why am I feeling like this? Like I shouldn't be feeling suicidal because I have no friends or I have nobody talking to me. But that's the thing about like mental health is like, you can't compare yourself to other people because like what you're going through may be a lot for you, but for somebody else that may not be a lot, or vice versa.
Right. You can't
And
minimize someone else's struggle, their triggers, their
exactly,
challenges, their trauma. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you.
exactly. And so, I was feeling suicidal. I just felt like alone, no matter who I talked to. Like I said, I wasn't really religious, so I couldn't turn to God or anybody. Me and my brother weren't really talking at the time because he
Mm.
was so busy. So it was just me And like I said, I wasn't taking care of myself mentally, physically,
What, were
spiritually.
were you able to reach out and communicate with your stepdad? Was there any opportunity for that? Like, man, maybe I need to reach out to him. Is there any way that I can do that just to be like, this is where I'm at, this is what I'm feeling. I look up to you. You're you're a strong man that I see. I always wanted to be like you. Uh, I'm grateful to you what you brought into our lives as far as the stability. Was there any way that you could reach out to him at that time?
There was so at the beginning when he first got arrested, we would go see him. We would visit him while he was in county, and once he got sent to prison, he actually got sent to I think it was California, and we
Mm,
were still in North Carolina. And my mom, like, she made sure she kind of like blamed. She was really angry at him first for involving her in that lifestyle. Number one, involving her kids in that lifestyle,
mm,
and she has like her career that she's been working on for so long. She's gone to school for her career. She's sacrificed things. My mom's been through a lot, like a lot, a lot. I think you should talk to her because share her story is insane. She could write a book.
absolutely. Absolutely. If she's
But
interested in coming on, absolutely.
um, yeah, she's so she was mad angry at him for that. So she kind of made sure, like at first we were allowed, send him a letter, call them, anything, but she kind of made sure that we were not talking to him because she didn't want us to feel inspired by, him. Or I mean, she knew that we didn't want to be like him because she knew that we didn't want to be in prison. But even though like he is there, we still respect him as a man because of what he did for us and our family. So,
Right.
you know, she pretty much made sure that we weren't talking to him.
Okay. So at the point where you're feeling a little suicidal, you got off the antidepressants, you felt worse, wasn't taking care of yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, no way. Um, what what changed? What was 18 and 19 and 20 and young adulthood, Trenton? When did the change occur? Or did it have to get a little bit worse before the change occurred? Or did you know, like, I'm not feeling right. This is not okay. I need to see what resources I need to make a change. When did that start to take place for you?
Um, that took place for me. I would say once I left like my biological dad's house.
How
That
old were
that
you? How old were you
I
then?
was at this time I was like 18.
Okay.
At this time
Okay.
I was 18, so it was like a year later.
Okay.
So I was at my biological dad's house for maybe let's see, 7 months.
Mm-hmm.
And during those 7 months, I like went to like the local high school, and like they were like, "No, we can't have him here." And because somehow even they found out about what like happened with me, and so what really changed me, and I'm like super grateful for, is I went to an alternate school, and I'm not sure if you're familiar with those, but
No, no, explain that. What's that?
so alternate school it's like a high school, but it's for kids who are like troubled, who are like, they can't stay out of trouble at like a traditional public school. So it's just called like an alternative school.
Is it more
And
private?
it's more private, yes. It's smaller classrooms. It's
Okay.
free though. It's public. It's a free school. It's like I said, it's just for kids who like, they, stay in fights, they drug abuse, kids like me. And it's definitely more private. The classrooms are way smaller. There's a lot of security always around. But honestly, like, even though like it sounds like something where a lot of like delinquents would go, like
Mm-hmm.
some of the best people I've ever met in my life like were at that school. And I feel like that's what really changed for me because I met like some really really inspirational people there, especially my teachers. I had a teacher named Mr. Douglas, and it was a black man.
I was
And
just about to ask you, was there a standout at that school for you? I was just about to
yeah,
ask you that. Yeah.
yeah, there was two men there, and one was named Mr. McCorkle, and one was named Mr. Douglas. And man, I will appreciate those people to the day I die because they really changed me. Like they really, really changed me for the better. And even some of the students, man, like they come from like situations like situations where it's like I'm so thankful I'm not from that situation, or I feel so blessed that like I had a, either a one parent or somebody in my family that just really cared for me. Because I mean a lot of those kids like didn't have that, and that really made me thankful, and that started to like lift my spirits a lot. But like I was saying, the professors, or not the professors, the teachers there, man, they were like, even though they were surrounded by like kids who were like, you know I mean, I guess like bad kids, but they always treated us like respectable young men, and they made sure that we felt that way every time we were in their classroom, and they really taught us like right from wrong. And you know how earlier I was saying even a mentor like will make you like really
Mm-hmm.
respect them and can change your life. Like those were like my first mentors. And honestly, like thinking about it, like even though like my stepdad was a great person to like my family and stuff, like those men were like the first like positive men that I like looked up to in my life. And I was like, dang, like this is what you're supposed to be like. This is how you're supposed to act. This is how you're supposed to treat people. And every day I was happy to go to school because I couldn't wait to talk to them and get some more wisdom. And even the other teachers, like they treated us like people. Um, and that's kind of how I was saying earlier. Like in my community, a lot of people were just like this guy is scum. Like, this is what his people does. This is how they act. Like he's not even. They're not even like people. They shouldn't be a part of this community. The school that I went to in Morganton, like they were the same way. Once they found out like what I had been through, they just immediately judged me. They don't even know me. Um, you know, everybody who knows me always said like who I was as a person, but um, you know, these people would immediately judge me, and
Mm-hmm.
and you know, tear down my name and tear down my family's name and my culture's name, and I didn't appreciate that. And like I said, that really tore me down. But these two guys like really picked me back up and told me like, no matter what you go through, no matter how hard it feels, like there's always better days ahead. And I know that's very cliche, but it's so true. Like
Right.
it's so true. Because I just think back to when I was in my darkest moments, where like I like really thought about like I really thought about like ending it all. Like it just didn't feel like I just wanted a way for my pain to stop,
Right.
because like that's all I could think about is like no matter, like I know this will affect other people, but like this seems like the only way that like this will change. The last year of my life has been people just talking down on me. I had nobody to go to, telling me I'm not even human, telling me I'm trash. So I feel like why should I even be here? And I'm just glad that I held on, because, like I said, man, there's always better days ahead.
Absolutely. What did after you graduated? What did what did Trenton do as far as moving forward in the early adulthood to get to the Trenton that I'm speaking with, that's sitting in front of me right now, as far as your mental health stability, your mental health service, the work you had to put in to never ever have to feel or go to that dark place again? Because that takes work. A lot of people don't
Hmm.
understand, to keep yourself mentally secure. That takes work. That takes resources. That takes community. That takes going to look for help when you need it,
Exactly. Yep.
and saying, okay, something is not right here. What can I do about it? When did that happen for Trenton? Because you got your education, you met two wonderful men, teachers, and that whole school and your peers. Now, okay, I got some momentum. What else can I do? What else can Trenton be?
Yeah.
You got some
On.
inspiration. So yeah.
Yeah. So that was, I like how you said community, because well, I'll just start from the beginning. So after I graduated, I was feeling real good about myself. My mom was real proud of me, um, because besides her, she was like the only person to graduate, like even high school. So it was nice to like see my mom be proud of me for that, and it was I mean it was a big achievement for me, because a lot of people don't even do that. So um, especially I feel like in the circumstances that I was in,
Mm-hmm.
but I was feeling real good. The next step for me was I was riding on a wave. I was real high at the moment. So I was going straight into it. I was like, Mom, I want to, enroll at this local community college that we had, and I want to take some classes. And so I took some classes, and I was feeling good. But after, a couple months, those problems still just like I was saying, they just came back to me because, like you said, if you don't put in the work to keep your mental health right, it like you'll come back to that point.
Mm-hmm.
And I was still in that community, uh, my town that I'm from. Same people. That's how it is in a small town. It's always gonna be the same people who like never leave. And those are people. Those are the people with the small town mentality are the people who like think they have to talk down to people the most. And uh, so I didn't get back as bad as I was, but I definitely started to fall back into a depressive state, and my mom was noticing that. So that's when I decided to go to school, like at East Carolina University, which is like 5 hours away from where I live. So it's way on the coast. I'm from Western North Carolina,
Mm-hmm.
and ECU is on pretty much near the coast. It's about an hour
Yes.
away from the coast.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to do that to get away. My mom noticed that, and that's kind of what my brother had to do, and it really worked for him. So I was like, I think I need to get away from here, and she allowed me to do that. So I went to school out here, and I was real reserved at first. Like, I didn't want anybody to know anything about me because I didn't even want to take the chance of somebody being like, "Oh, that's the type of person he is." Like you know what I'm saying, without even
Yeah.
meeting me first.
Right.
At this point in my life, I was like trying to stay away from that lifestyle that I was living. I definitely wasn't in the mindset like, "Oh, I'm untouchable. Can't nobody mess with me." Because I mean, I was locked up with nothing I could do for 3 months. You know what I'm saying? There was nothing I could do just except for just sit in a cell and read a book and lay down and walk around you know, 2 steps in each direction. That's it. So I didn't want to tell anybody about me at first, and but I ended up meeting somebody who like who came from like a similar like situation as me. And well, one thing I really appreciated about ECU was it's way more diverse out here
Yes,
in
it
Eastern
is.
North Carolina
Yes,
than
sir.
Western North Carolina. And I really, really, I was not expecting that because like I said, Western North Carolina, I'm from like pretty much the mountains. It's like it's a lot of like Caucasian people, and that's pretty much it. I mean, there's some minorities out there. We got a couple black people, and we got some um, like Hmong people, but other than that, it's pretty much mainly white. So when I came out to Eastern North Carolina, I was like, wow, there's a lot of us out here. I like this. This is nice, because I mean, at the end of the day, like it's not about like I don't mind like I love diversity. That's one thing I really appreciate. But it's a little bit easier when you're around people who are at least look like you. You
Mm-hmm.
feel it's a little bit more at ease. Um, that's just how I felt then. I'm honestly out of that now, but at that time, that's like what I felt like I needed, and I got that going here, and I really appreciated that.
So I want to have you back because I feel like there's more to your story than we can get into at this particular time, and that's okay. But what I want to do is jump forward just a little bit because we maybe got about 20 minutes, maybe 15, 20 minutes left. And I want to know what resources you've taken advantage of when it comes to your mental health. What things do you do? What things does Trenton do to keep your mental stability secure? And it's not an absolute science. What works for you may not work for me. What works for me may not work for you. But it's your experiences and sharing them. Someone could be like, "Oh, I haven't thought about doing that yet. Maybe let me try what Trenton did. Let me see if that works for me." Or maybe I know someone that, hey, listen, I watched this show, play the tape, and there was this guy on named Trenton, and he said this worked for him. Want to try that? That's the community that we're a part of. It is so broad and vast. So, what things do you do for your mental stability, your mental recovery that you could share?
So, the biggest thing for me, and I like I tell people this all the time, and it's like it's hard to break this stigma. And we've been working on it for a long time, and it's still a work in progress. But the biggest
Right.
thing for me was just seeking somebody out that I feel like I could trust. I feel
Mm-hmm.
like somebody that understood me and, listened to me and that I could talk to. And like that's what I always tell people, man. Like if you need to find somebody that you should actively seek out somebody that you feel like you can talk to because that is absolutely huge. Just um like the other day I was watching a TED talk and there was a guy who was like a negotiator for people who were about to, jump off the Golden Gate Bridge. And he said like 99% of the time when he saved somebody's life, the person that like he's the life he saved, all
Mm-hmm.
they said to him was, "I just appreciate you listening to me." And
Right.
I felt like that's how I felt when I was at my darkest moment. I just wanted somebody to just listen to me and like really make me feel understood. And that's one thing that I do. I found a group of people that I can talk to, and it's just some close friends. But I mean, there's tons of resources out there for people who are in this situation. But I found people that I could talk to, and they listen to me, and we listen to each other. And that's absolutely huge right there.
I
That's
like that.
that is huge. Talking to somebody, I know it's very cliche, but you got to do that.
Yeah,
You got
it
to.
works.
It works, man. It's huge,
Yeah.
and it's kind of like the NAMI connections thing. Like that's huge. Like finding people who have been through stuff, and are experiencing mental health like symptoms and illnesses, and just listening to their stories, listen seeing the similarities in your story and appreciating their story, and watching them listen to you. That's huge, man. It makes
Mm.
you really feel heard, and it makes you feel like you're not alone. There are other people who have been through a lot of stuff, and they're there to support you.
Right. And that's hope. That's hope. That's what
Exactly.
that's what we're doing today is we're providing hope. They're looking at two young men right here and they're like, wow, they're succeeding. Not perfect. Every day is going to be a struggle. There will be challenges, but there also will be successes. And how do we find those successes? I like how you said the talk, the group, the support, your peers, the NAMI, which is the National Alliance on Mental Illness organization, is, and we're going to talk about that because you're hosting an event on May 5th that I want to get into in a little bit. But I also wanted to ask you, going forward, how important is it to you to share your experiences, to advocate, to get engaged in the community, to be like, hey, mental health is real. Just because you can't see it does not mean it's not real. It affects more people than you think. And it is okay to say,
Yep.
I'm not okay, and to reach out. How important is that message for you, Trent, to let people know that?
That's like to me, that's like my number one importance because I feel like as men, one, we're always told to like, suck it up. We'll be okay. Just keep fighting through it. And I feel like a lot of people have that mentality. And they think that if they're going through something, if they're feeling stressed, they're being weak. And even as a kid, like growing up when I grew up, like I was told that, what I'm saying? Like I was told like I need to be strong for my family, I need to be strong for my mom, my siblings, my cousins, sisters, whatever it is, I need to be strong. And I feel like advocacy and education is like the number one way to improve people's like mental health. Just let them know, like, listen, man, it's okay to feel like that. It's normal actually. It's very normal. People I felt like that every day for a certain time of my life. If you just keep, fighting through it and let's get together, let's talk about it, man. Let me teach you some things that I do, some things that might work for you. You could try it out. If it doesn't work, let's get back together. Let's keep trying and let's improve your mental health. And I want to teach people like you said, it's okay to not be okay. It's normal to not be okay. It's fine to not be okay. Like I just want people to understand that because I feel like once you understand that, you're already on a path to having a better future mentally. And yeah, that's huge for me.
Awesome. Um, how did you get involved with NAMI? And then I know you have it a men's mental health event on May 5th from 7:30 to 9:15 Eastern time. How did you get a part of NAMI? How did you connect with NAMI? And how did this event come together for you? And what does it mean for you to be able to host this event?
So my mom is actually a psychiatric mental health nurse practitioner. So, and that's kind of something that I want to start working towards because I really like her job because it's dealing with a lot of people with mental illnesses and things like that. So, I shadowed her, and I really liked what she did and how she did it. And so I was looking for an internship because with my program at school, we have to have an internship to graduate. And I
Mm-hmm.
was looking for an internship that, would deal with mental health and potentially like I wanted to be able to advocate, go out, have programs and just touch people's lives. Um, and I had a friend that was in one of my classes, and she told me about NAMI, and said that it was an amazing internship. Our supervisor Tiffany pretty much allows you to do like whatever you want in terms of advocacy, education, and I was like, man, that sounds like a lot of fun. I really want to do that, and so I just applied and I talked to her, and she was glad to have me. So here I am, a NAMI intern. But if I could, I would stay here full time because I love it. I really do.
Right.
Um, but the men's mental health event. So that's an event that I wanted to do because, like I said, like it's just I feel like mental health is like it's starting to get talked about more and more with men now, but it's always been something that has affected a lot of men. I mean, my parents, my dad, my biological dad, even my grandfather. He had like some substance abuse issues, uh, coming from mental health issues. So that's definitely something that I was like, I think I want to. This is a way for me to, because like I said, that's important for me to advocate and
Mm-hmm.
educate. So this is a way for me to maybe, teach some people about things that I've been through. I want to get some other people in here to talk about things that they've been through because everybody's gonna have a different story. And I feel like everybody, no matter who you are, you're gonna offer value because nobody goes through the exact same thing. And, you know, it's just awesome to hear from other people who have been through a lot of other things. So I wanted to do this event.
Where can people find this event, even if they can't be there on May 5th? Is there a way that they can see it? Or is there a link that can be shared or a website that you could go to that they can rewatch the recording? Is there anything like that?
Yeah, so if you want to be there live, it's gonna be on May 5th. And if you go to NAMI's Instagram page, it will be on their Instagram. So it's NAMI Pitt County, NAMIPITTCOUNTY. And it'll be on the Instagram page. You can sign up there and it'll be May 5th. But if you can't make it, what I plan to do is record it, and I wanna post it on YouTube. I wanna record it and then post it on YouTube. That way, because this information is not just pertinent now. It's always gonna People always are gonna need like something like this. So even 2 years later, people are gonna
Mm-hmm.
still be able to see it. So that's something that I want to do is record it, post it on YouTube so people can access it and watch it back. And who knows? Maybe one day I might even need to watch it back and just listen.
What is the YouTube channel that it'll be on so people can come back and view it when they need to?
I'm gonna try to. I want to start up a NAMI YouTube page. I need to
Ooh,
talk to
okay.
I
No,
need to
that's
talk
new
to
to
my
me.
supervisor about that.
Yeah, that's new
Yeah,
for
that's
me. Listen, I think that'd
yeah,
be, I don't want to say dope. I think that would be fantastic and such a
yeah,
blessing to have a NAMI YouTube channel. What? Yo,
yeah.
you got my
That's
support. I
something
think
that I
that,
really want to do.
yeah, I think that would be nice. I think that would be nice. I like it. I like that. I'm sorry.
Appreciate
When,
it. No, no, no,
yeah,
no.
I get
You're good.
excited about new ways and new resources and new tools and new outlets and new platforms that haven't been utilized yet for good, for
Hmm.
health, for community. Dude, that's cool, Trenton. Dang, bro,
Yeah,
that's what's up. Okay.
yeah. That's
That,
something I really want to do because, I mean, like I was saying, you can reach other people outside of your following on YouTube. So I really like that idea because most social media is the only people who see your stuff is your following.
is your followers, right?
So
Right. I like that. I really do. I never that's really good. Kudos to you, man. Listen, I wish you well on all your endeavors and your mental health and everything that you do. Um, where can people reach you if they want to get a hold of you for an event to come speak, come share your experience, strength, and hope? Where can people reach you so they can follow you get in touch with you, all of that good stuff, where you can promote.
So you can find me on Instagram at Trent McPherson one, which is it's just my name TrentMcPherson one. So it's just my name and then one. You can follow me on Instagram. You can find me there. Just shoot me a DM. You can shoot me an email. My email is TrentMC17. So TrentMC17 at iCloud. I reply via email too. So mainly Instagram or email. But if you want to reach out to me, I love to talk to people. I love talking to people about these things, and you know, if I can help somebody, I would love to. So if you need to reach out to me, please do.
Man, your story is beautiful and it's strong and it's impactful. Real quick, give me two things that you're grateful for.
Well, one, I'm grateful for my life, and two, I'm grateful to be here still. You know, I'm grateful to be able to talk to people like you. You know, share my story, and you know, let other people hear it. And then two, I'm grateful for just my peers. You know, people who were really there for me when I really needed them. People who I am, able to talk to about the things that I go through, and I still go through. I went through. I still go through now. It's like you said. It never ends. It's always, it comes. Sometimes it comes in waves,
Right.
but
Yep.
when you're at that bottom, that's when you have those people that you can fall back on, man. And that's why I'm really grateful for them.
Hey, listen, Trenton, listen, I'm grateful for you. Um, I'm going to be a speaker on May 5th, so I'm excited about that. Thank you for having me to your event. I'm very blessed to be a part of that and everything that you're doing. Listen, again, I love you, brother. I thank you for being up here. Much success, much blessings on everything that you do. Don't stop doing what you're doing. Always keep that care in your heart. We need people like you to advocate for people like us. So listen, I love you, man. I'm going to have you back because there's more things that I want to talk to you about. We can have a more in-depth conversation. Just was a, hey, this is Trenton. This is an origin. This is what I've come through. Here, who I am now. But there's more to you than that, and I can't wait to have you come back if you want to come back and be a
Of
recurring
course, yes.
guest. Thank
This
you.
was, hey man, this was therapeutic for me. Just even talking about it again,
A-
having somebody to talk to with, that was nice.
Absolutely. And that's what then see, this is the community part. This is the play the tape. People always ask me, Derek, what does play the tape mean? And I tell them I learned it in because I come from the whole mental health and substance use. So I got the both of those, and you've seen it yourself. It's that this is play the tape. It's good, bad, or indifferent. Whatever that is, you play it to someone that you trust, and they can give you feedback. They can play their tape on how it sounds, whether if it's absurd, a good idea. Just like when you shared the NAMI YouTube channel. Oh man, that's play the tape.
I like it. I like it.
Everything you said is play the tape. It's just a way to take accountability and responsibility for what we do and what we think. So, hey, until next time, my brother, I love you and thank you. And I'll talk to you soon. And I definitely see you on May 5th. Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you for
Thank you so
coming.
much, man.
Yes,
I
sir.
appreciate it.
Have a good one. Peace.
Thank you, you too. See you.
Listen, fam, this is what we do here at Play the Tape. We come and we share our experiences, our strengths, and our hopes so that you know that you are not alone. With peace comes understanding. With understanding comes love. With love comes hope. And with hope comes faith. And with that faith comes love and recovery. If no one's told you today that they love you, we love you, I love you. People will jump in that pit with you. And that may seem a little absurd, but you know why we'll do it? Because we know the way out. We're more than just lending a hand. We're going to jump down there and dig out with you, boost you up, because that always keeps us therapy too. That gives us therapy, just like it gives you therapy, just the same as Trenton just said. But listen, until next time, this has been a blessing. We love you. See you later. Peace.